broadcasters. Welcome to episode 235 of the StreamYard Live Town Hall. My name's Geige, and I'm here with Dan, of course. Dan, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing well. It's been a good week. Really excited for tonight. We have some pretty exciting features for tonight that have been requested for a while, so looking forward to that. And for anyone new here, for anyone who hasn't seen the show, Dan and I are the founders of StreamYard, and we do these town halls every single Sunday at 6 p.m. Pacific, and we do them for a few reasons. One is to stay in tune with all of you, go through the same flow that you all do with your own shows and productions. Two is to answer any of your questions. That's why we're calling it Ask StreamYard. So if there's anything you'd like us to touch on tonight, feel free to leave it in the chat. We'll do our best to get to as many as we possibly can. And three, I always mention the three pillars of StreamYard, which are ease of use, stability, and professional stream. So if you're about those three things, StreamYard is the tool for you. I see people tuning in from all over the world tonight. Nice to see all of you here. It sounds like a lot of folks are excited to see the AI powered features we have. Nice to see you tonight, Clarine. Also, before I forget, we have lots of awesome shows on StreamYard. We have YouTube channel reviews with Dee and Daniel the second Saturday of every month. I think they just had one last week. Really fun show if you're looking to grow on YouTube. Dee and Daniel are both pros when it comes to live streams and video. But this is a great show for learning how you can think about your niche, things like your thumbnails for your videos, your banner images, all those types of things. And then we have Enhance Your Live Streams the last Tuesday of the month with Nick Nimmin, who, again, is a pro when it comes to all things video and live streaming. So tune in there for your specific live stream questions. And then one thing we've been doing at the start of these so that we get to know a little bit more about you and you get to know a little bit more about us is a fun fact. And the fun fact we had for tonight was, what is the last sporting event that you attended?
Cool. Last sporting event. So I can't actually think of the last professional sporting event I attended. It would have been a few years ago, but my last sporting event would have been both Geige and I actually played in a hockey tournament. Was that 2 weeks ago now? So that was a ton of fun.
Absolutely. Yeah. It could be attended.
Most people will probably be some kind of professional sporting event that they watch, but yeah, for us, it's playing in a hockey tournament.
Yeah, we could change it to attended or participated in. That's definitely the last one I participated in. I did watch a Dallas Stars game with my family, not probably a few months ago, which was fun.
Cool.
All right. Let's do a couple questions here and then get into some of the announcements. So Tower Radio Show says, when will you be able to use Instagram on StreamYard? Yeah, this one comes up a lot, Tower Radio. So we absolutely love Instagram and would love to integrate with it. They recently did make RTMP streaming available on Instagram for a very small group of folks. And if you go to the StreamYard help docs, you can find them at StreamYard.com/contact within that same widget. There's instructions to check to see and verify if you do or do not have access to it. So if you do have access to it, you can actually use the RTMP functionality of StreamYard to go live there. As of now, in terms of like a direct integration, the same thing we have like Facebook and YouTube. Facebook only allows that happening within their own native app. It's against their policy to not do that, which is why we don't facilitate that. But I am optimistic that will hopefully change in the future. And when it does, we will absolutely launch an integration with it. How we got here, Genealogy says, is there a way to schedule regular streams, i.e. the same time each week with the same description, etc.? Do you want to take that one, Dan?
Yeah, I'd love to. It's a good question. So right now, there's not a way to do that. That said, we are exploring ways where we could make that easier. And I don't know if it would work exactly how you're probably thinking, where you'd kind of set up some kind of recurring thing. It might just maybe be a way to kind of clone a previous broadcast just to make it a lot easier to create the next one, but you'd still be doing one at a time. We're exploring that actually right now. So we'll see. But yeah, would like to make it easier just to create recurring shows if you do have something that's, say, the same time, same day every week, kind of like us with the Town Hall, for example.
Cool. Let's see what else we had here. Paranormal Gateway says, doing a podcast using the record only, if I reviewed the audio and realized there was something I missed, is there a way to insert other audio into that recording, or is that maybe a future feature? So if you're using the record only option on StreamYard, whether that's local recordings or the mixed recording option, the only editing functionality we have right now is basically the ability to remove things, like trim things up and cut the beginning and the end. That might change in the future, but right now you can't actually insert it within StreamYard. So best recommendation for now would be to download that and use something like Audacity or whatever your preferred solution is to add in audio. But who knows, in the future that might come. All right. Let's do one or two more here, and then we'll get to the announcements. Joe says, will StreamYard have the ability to stream to multiple sources in the future? So Joe, StreamYard does have multi-streaming now. So like you can go live to like Facebook and YouTube, LinkedIn, all at the same time. The way that you phrase the question makes me think that maybe you mean like take in, like the ability to take in multiple feeds, like maybe take in like an RTMP feed or something like that. So right now the only feed you can create is from within StreamYard itself. You can screen share in StreamYard or use a virtual camera, but we don't have the ability to take in RTMP feeds. But that might change in the future. Kendrick says, just did 2 days of live shows for my podcast. One day was 8 hours. Wow. And the other one was 7 hours. Those are some long shows. The stream worked like a champ. Thank you guys for this awesome product. Awesome. Thank you, Kendrick. That's super kind of you. Really glad it works well. And Andy's rocking the StreamYard shirt. Super happy to hear that. You should send a picture of like you watching the stream with the shirt on. I would enjoy that. Cool. Let's get into some of the announcements for tonight. Really excited about these. So yeah, we have 2 new AI powered features, and this is just the first of many to come, right? So AI is a big part of our roadmap in the future, and there's lots of cool stuff that we're working on in that space. But the first one, I think Dan actually has a cool demo for it, is background noise removal, which I'm definitely excited about. It's not the most flashy feature, but it's like the type of feature that if you don't, that when you need it, it's like amazing that you have it. So really excited for when you say you have a guest that's, maybe on a bus with really loud noises going on in the background, or they're traveling, or they're at an airport. Airports are often horrible for that. Really happy to have this as a good solution to basically make those people audible without it, having all that crazy noise in the background. Anything else to add to that, Dan, before we maybe do a quick demo of it?
Yeah, maybe just a few things. So first one, this will be rolling out throughout the week. So probably starting on Tuesday, we'll start rolling this out. And it is going to be a setting. So this isn't something we're just going to turn on, because we didn't want it to basically make people's audio worse in some cases. We wanted it to be something you kind of opt into and turn on. For a lot of people, I think it will be very helpful. But yeah, we're starting with it off, and then we're going to try to basically selectively think about if we can turn it on in certain situations, like maybe even, for example, detecting that there's background noise and turning it on. But I just want to be careful not to kind of add this suddenly to everyone's audio. So right now it's just a setting you have to turn on. It's particularly good, for example, if you have a guest who has a lot of background noise, you can just turn that on and all of a sudden they won't have any background noise. If you have a really nice audio setup, it's not necessarily something you'd use, especially if you're the type of person who already has echo cancellation off and you're in a studio, you've got headphones, really good setup, you won't need it. But like Geige said, if you're walking around a conference or doing something where it is quite noisy, that it's super useful to have. So I actually like demoing stuff like this because it's more of a physical demo rather than clicking around. So I don't know how well this will work given that this is really noisy, but I just have a piece of paper here and I was going to kind of scrunch it up, and then you can hear before and after with background noise removal. So first one, I'll have it the way it is now, where there's no background noise removal, and it should be super loud and probably sound kind of annoying. So let me do that first. So this is
So you can clearly hear the annoying.
Yeah, so not the best noise. And then if I turn on background noise removal, so that's on now.
Yeah, so can't really hear anything. So pretty cool. And that was pretty loud, right? So usually I think the background noise you'll run into is actually not as loud as that paper scrunching. So really excited about that. And something we're going to continue improving, right? So if you have any feedback on it, or you think it needs to be tweaked in any way, let us know, because we're going to continue improving it.
Yeah, really exciting.
All right. I think we did have a couple questions about it. I saw one from Ross. Ross says, can you turn it on for one guest, but not for everybody? Yes. Yep. All right.
So Ross, it's just like, you're probably familiar with the echo cancellation setting, for example. Like if you go into your own audio settings, those are just for you. So if you turn off echo cancellation for yourself, you can also turn on and off background noise removal. Works in a very similar way where it's per person. And we'll also set it up so the host can turn it off for the guest. So if your guest has a really loud background noise, you can just go in and turn it off for them. Turn it on for them.
Cool. Bonnie says, will you be adding a feature to be allowed to see milestone messages from YouTube channel members? Would love to see and highlight them since they are paying members and they don't show up in StreamYard. Yes, Bonnie, I believe we're actively working on adding this, right, Dan?
Yep.
Yeah, so stay on the lookout, Bonnie. Should be coming soon. Tommy says, as of now, we cannot upload a recording from a tablet or cell phone into a StreamYard video. We can from a PC. Is it me, or is this a restriction of StreamYard?
Can't upload a recording.
So maybe Tommy, if you could let us know if it's the pre-recorded feature you're trying to use or in the studio itself. But I guess to answer that, Dan, pre-recorded streams you should be able to upload from a mobile device.
Yeah, everything you can do on the web in terms of uploading, you should be able to do on your phone as well.
But if not,
yeah, let us know. Maybe just give us more context over exactly what you're trying to do.
Cool. Let's see what else we had here. Rochelle says, is there any possibility of a teleprompter feature where we can load speaking notes similar to CapCut, basically to keep eye level when talking and using StreamYard to video? So it's definitely possible, Rochelle. I don't have there's nothing like currently to announce for it in terms of a date or what exactly we're working on, but teleprompter type features have definitely come up, and we've talked about various ways, whether it's like through integrating with other types of products or like actual physical teleprompters or doing something in StreamYard, but it's definitely something that we're thinking about.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, you probably already maybe do this or know about it, but one thing you could do as well if you really want it is if you just have, say, a Google Doc where you have your notes, you could always just kind of adjust the size of the StreamYard window, maybe move it down a bit farther on your monitor and put the Google Docs, like make it a bit shorter, put it right at the top of your monitor, right underneath your camera. So if you want your eyes on the thing that you're reading, it's right underneath the camera. So something like that can work. Obviously, that's not within StreamYard itself, but something like that is an option.
Cool. Sounds like lots of folks are excited for the background noise edition. Happy to hear that. Creative Lady's excited that husband can now go into the refrigerator. Yeah, my refrigerator is also loud. I can see how that would be helpful.
Yeah, or if you have like a fan or something, those can definitely cause issues, especially if it's kind of pointing in your general direction, hitting the mic. It should help a lot with that sort of stuff. It's not going to be perfect. Obviously, like you want to set up your environment in a way where there's not a ton of background noise. Like if, for example, there's a dog barking, like we'll do our best to cancel that out. But ideally, you don't have a dog barking to get the highest quality audio, obviously.
Cool. Let's maybe do one or two more questions, then we'll get to the other AI feature. Speak English with this guy says, do you think one day there will be AI-generated hosts for the weekly StreamYard Town Hall? No, I don't think so. I think no matter what, there will definitely always be humans doing the StreamYard town hall. I'm sure there's all kinds of other cool AI generated stuff, but a big part of these is so we get to like hear directly from all of you and connect with you and act on your feedback. So AI would not be a good solution for that, I don't think. Maybe
well, that is the exact answer that an AI would give if it was trying to confuse you.
Maybe we're already AI. Yeah.
I feel like if I was an AI, I'd have a more exciting background.
There you go. Yeah, for sure. All right, let's get into the next AI update. And that was, this one's come up many, many times. So super cool to launch this. That is the ability to touch up your appearance. So very similar to where you'll find the ability to use like a virtual background. You'll have a little checkbox there if you would like to touch up your appearance. It's not actually on for Dan and I's accounts right now, so we'll show it to you next week, but you can probably guess how it looks. It works very similar to what you'd find in like a Zoom or something like that, where it just sort of softens the blemishes and features. But yeah, it's come up a lot, so cool. Anything to add to that one, Dan?
Yep, so similar to background noise removal, this will be coming out, basically rolling out throughout the week. You should have it about midweek. This feature, I would say, is definitely not for everyone. It's the type of thing where a lot of people don't necessarily want this because it does make you look a little bit different. But for some people, it's an awesome feature. And like Geige said, it is requested a lot. So it's a pretty cool way to just like add this really subtle touch up to kind of get rid of blemishes and everything. Pretty cool feature.
Absolutely. Cool. So yeah, we're really excited to announce that one. Same thing with the background noise. If there's anything you notice with it in terms of like, I wish it would, touch us up even more or less, it's too much, we're going to continue iterating and improving it. So it'd be great to hear your feedback, or if there's anything even now that that you'd like to see in the future, definitely let us know. saw several requests for dark mode. Don't have any new announcements for dark mode, but it's definitely possible that we'll add it. There are extensions. I know people aren't always a huge fan of them. Some people are a fan of them that sort of do it for you, but at some point we likely will add it.
Yeah, I have heard the extension with StreamYard doesn't work perfectly. Like there are some issues with it, but it, for the most part, does the job pretty well. So yeah, there are extensions that will turn any site and basically turn on dark mode on any site. So if you look that up, you can try that. But yeah, I know it's not perfect.
All right, let's see tons and tons of comments and questions here. Really awesome to see. I'll try to get as many as I can. Where was the last one that I was going to show? Oh yeah, from Patrick or Partik. Partik. Would background noise cancellation cancel out the model train running in the background of broadcasting live? Viewers like to hear them. Safest thing to do would be to test it, just test it out and see. Unfortunately, my guess would be yes, but again, if you have control over your audio environment, you don't really need background noise cancellation, right? It's also the same reason why sometimes folks choose to turn off things like echo cancellation and the other features of StreamYard is that if you do, have headphones and control over your audio environment, you can get the best possible noise by not having that processing. What it is really good for is if you have a guest where you don't have control over their audio environment and, maybe there's like crazy noises or air conditioning or a fridge or whatever that would be good for you to be able to just deal with without having to, instruct them to figure out how to whatever they can do. It's difficult to deal with those situations. So
yeah, this is very much a setting. So, and it's opt-in. We're not just going to turn it on like I mentioned at the start. We might at some point for certain devices, but yeah, as of right now, we're not turning it on for anyone. And it's a setting in your audio settings that you have to turn on yourself. So yeah, in your case, if you want people to hear the background noise, just don't turn the setting on. Nothing will change.
Awesome. Let's see what else we had.
Same thing. Just one more example. There's a lot of people that play music, for example, and they might not even have like an amazing setup. They might just be playing music with a mic and playing guitar or something. It's like that person definitely shouldn't have it on because it will filter out all of the music.
Yes, absolutely. Ali says, is there any way for the people waiting to go on panel to be in a room together and or some sort of breakout room? Thank you. Yes, actually there is, Ali. So on the highest tier plan, like of StreamYard, if you go to the business plans in the tab, there is something called the growth plan, which has a feature called Green Room. And the whole idea of Green Room is it's almost like a second studio used for a holding area. And the most common use cases we'll see for it is, say you're running a live stream that has like a lot of planning involved. Like, maybe it's like a 6-hour live stream where you have 20 different people coming on at various points throughout it. And maybe you even have a producer working with you who needs to be able to like talk to the guest and prep them like, hey, you're going to be going on in 5 minutes, and then move them into the live StreamYard studio. That's the most common use case, but it does work how you described, where they're basically sitting in this room together. There's a chat. There's not, they don't have the ability to communicate with each other beyond text right now, but we are going to continue improving it in the future. Anything else to add to that, Dan?
No, I don't think so. It's a pretty cool feature. We don't talk about it too much on the tunnel either.
No, it is very unique. It's super, like when you need it, it's super, super helpful for those types of events. The mental health toolbox says, please make it possible to arrange planned recordings by planned interview dates I pre-schedule for my podcast. Any thoughts on that one, Dan?
Yeah, I would like to do that. I'm not exactly sure what that would look like, but I assume it's like you want to have a scheduled date, not just for the streams, but also for the recordings. You want to sort it by when that date is. I don't know for sure if we'll add that for recording or not. I would like to at least add the ability to sort streams by the current scheduled date that we already have. But I could see maybe allowing people to schedule specific recordings, which I assume, just to confirm, is exactly what you're asking for. I'd be curious also for anyone else watching, for those of you that do recordings, or even maybe if you stream to a platform that doesn't support recording, scheduling, for example, Twitter or Twitch. If there's any of you that would like to set the scheduled start time, even though like it's not going to be creating a scheduled post like we do with YouTube and Facebook, it would basically just be setting the scheduled time on StreamYard so that you can see when it's scheduled for. Be curious if that would be useful for anyone else, especially if you could sort by the scheduled date.
Cool. Musardi says, for noise cancellation, is it going to have a slider to control it?
So yeah, as of right now, we do not have a slider. We basically just have it optimized for whatever we think is kind of the right level of cancellation. But this is the type of thing we are looking for feedback on. So if some people find this a little too aggressive, we might tweak it a bit. And if we find that there's some people that want it really aggressive and some people that want it really light, then we might look to add a slider. But as of right now, no. It is something that's kind of tricky to have a slider for too, because you kind of have to like be able to hear the noise yourself in order to even calibrate it.
Cool. Question from Chris. Hey, Geige. Hey, Dan. Can guests share their screen? Yes, absolutely. It's a very popular use case for StreamYard as being, and they can share slides as well. Like say they actually want to upload slides beforehand. Guests have access to like the vast majority of the functionality that you have as a host.
Yep. Yeah, just not things like banners.
Right. Yes.
Or brand.
Yes. Vay says, I can't figure out where you have all these features. Well, if there's a specific one, Vay, let us know. We can definitely help. We also have 24/7 support. If you go to StreamYard.com/contact, they'd be happy to help you out. These two most recent ones are just in they're like Dan said, they're still rolling out, but they will just be in the settings modal when you're in the actual StreamYard studio.
Yep. So yeah, there's camera and mic buttons in the studio, and then there's a settings button. You open that, and there's quite a lot of settings in there. So one of these will be in the camera settings section, and one will be for audio settings.
Andrew says, on mobile, if you lock orientation, you can't change the camera out of vertical mode. Any chance we can manually rotate cameras in StreamYard?
Interesting.
So, Andrew, it's definitely something that we would want to support. I don't know if there's some sort of limitation that's stopping us from doing it now, but it's something that we'll definitely look into. Any other thoughts on that one, Dan?
Yeah, I'm just curious to confirm, Andrew. Are you basically trying to lock it in landscape, and that's sort of the problem? Like your camera's stuck in portrait, but you're trying to hold the phone in landscape and lock it there? Or is it maybe a slightly different setup? Like you're trying to have it, yeah. Just want to make sure I'm understanding it correctly.
Awesome. Joshua says, do you have a change log? Depends what you are thinking of with change log. So some people, when they think of it, or maybe that's just the correct definition. Often when I think of a change log, I think of like a very like a long bolded list of like very specific things that changed. The closest thing we have is if you go to is just new.streamyard.com.
Yep.
Right, and that I don't know that it's technically a change log, but it does have every major change that we make to StreamYard on it.
Yep.
But it's technically probably not a change.
I think, yeah, for most people's purposes, I think it'd be what they're looking for. And let me just check something here. So just want to make sure I have the text correct. So if you go into StreamYard and you click My Account in the top corner, there's then a news section in that dropdown, and there'll be a little notification there whenever there's something new. That basically takes you to the thing Geige was just mentioning, new.streamyard.com. And yeah, it's just a list of every feature or every kind of major update that we make. So these ones will be on there sometime next week.
Cool. We have a ton of questions and it's going quick. So let me quickly try to get to a few more of these topics just to make sure that we touch on them. But really quick, Joe, I saw another question from you regarding like StreamYard, if StreamYard will have the ability to do multi-streams in the future. So you can do multi-streams now. So like you can go to lots and lots of platforms. You could go to Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and we even support scheduling as well. So like you can schedule out an event to like all these different platforms at a particular time with a thumbnail. It's a huge reason why people use StreamYard. So you absolutely can do that now.
Yep. Yeah, and there's not really any limits either. Like you could stream to 5 YouTube channels, for example.
Yes, absolutely. Awesome. I just want to touch on a few things in case you missed the last town hall. So last time we did make some cool editor updates that I just wanted to mention again in case you missed it. So now in the StreamYard editor, so basically after your stream or recording is over, you have always had the option to, or not always, but for a while you've now had the option to edit them. But recently we made a few cool changes. One is the ability to post to YouTube. So say you did like, an hour-long stream or a 2-hour-long stream, and you want to cut out like the best segments and turn it into like a separate YouTube video. You can now use the editor to edit and split and trim clips up to 20 minutes in length and directly post those to YouTube. Right, Dan?
Yep. Yeah, pretty exciting. Very convenient. You just have to download it and then post it.
Cool. Smaller change, but super useful is just basic undo, redo functionality was added in the editor. I think that's probably self-explanatory. And then the final one was segments for shorts and reels. So it used to be that with the shorts and reels feature, and in case you're not familiar with it, not so long ago, we added an integration with shorts and reels. And also it supports TikTok as well. and it would just take you'd have to pick basically a specific segment. And now you have the ability to use StreamYard splitting feature. So you can mix and match different parts of the video and choose what you want for that.
Yep. So basically, if you want to repurpose a recording or stream and take a 10-second chunk from the start and a 20-second chunk from the middle and merge those together, post it off to YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, TikTok, you can do that very easily now.
Awesome. And Dan, do you want to go ahead and start queuing up the giveaway for tonight? And I'll do these last couple announcements and then get back to questions. Other one, pretty recently, I think it was a couple weeks ago, we added the ability for guest comment posting to YouTube. So if it's been requested for a long time, so sometimes folks will, they're doing a stream on YouTube and they have maybe they're doing an interview with someone who's also active on YouTube and they want the ability to like comment as themselves throughout the live stream directly from the StreamYard studio. You can now do that. And then one quick final one, and then we'll get back to the questions. SSO was also added to this business plan of StreamYard. And if you don't know what SSO is, it's basically just the ability to easily manage logins if you're, a business that needs a simple way to like add and remove employees to a particular application. All right. Cool. So at the end of these, we always do a giveaway. So to be eligible, all you have to do is type in hashtag the yard. And tonight, why don't we give away, we'll do a StreamYard pillow and a StreamYard sweater. And if you're ever interested in doing a giveaway like this yourself, we actually made this tool available. And you can if you go to StreamYard.com/giveaway, there's a little video there that walks through how to use it, but you can do exactly what we're doing now for your very own show. So we give you maybe 10 seconds or so to get in your hashtag the yards. Maybe you have time to do couple quick questions while we wait for those. Bernie says, is it possible to change the dimensions of each video frame to accommodate custom branding with smaller video frames? So we did recently add custom layouts, Bernie. Just maybe you're already familiar with that, but in case you're not, we did add custom layouts, which gives you a ton of flexibility in terms of the overall, like each video for each guest, you have complete control over like the location and dimensions of it. In terms of like if you mean like the output frame of what's being output from the live stream, you cannot do that on a frame by frame basis. And you probably wouldn't want to, just because like if you're streaming to a social platform or something like that, they expect a particular dimension. And generally it's not a good idea to just like change it in the middle of the broadcast, or at least historically it wasn't. But if I'm misunderstanding the question, do let me know.
Chlorine asked what the StreamYard sweater looks like.
Yeah, we should have shown I've been forgetting to show the picture lately. Yeah, people say it's super, super comfy.
It is super comfy, yeah.
And let's do one more here, and then we'll do the draw. Rob says, is it possible to sync the start of an intro video with the start of recording or the live stream? That's a great question, Rob. So right now, it's a little bit difficult, but it is something that we're working on. Something I've alluded to in the past, in the same sort of vein that was custom layouts. We're doing more and more with that sort of thinking to basically, in a simple way, give folks more control over these types of things. And that's something that we're planning on addressing with that set of features that we're pretty excited about. Right now, the best way to do it, in my opinion, is similar to what Dan and I did that started this stream, which is we'll just put up an image, start the stream, and then play the intro video quickly after starting it. And then as it's playing, remove the image, and it creates a pretty similar effect.
Yep. All right, let's do it.
Yes, let's run it.
Good luck, everyone.
Home Rapid Repair. Thanks so much for tuning in tonight and hanging out with us. If you could send an email to contact@StreamYard.com, the team can get your size and your address to ship you your brand new StreamYard hoodie and your StreamYard pillow. It sounds like Doug has been enjoying the hoodie, which is awesome.
Cool. Yeah, I'm a big fan as well.
All right. And we got so many awesome questions tonight. Dan and I we'll go through it afterwards and note them down. Appreciate all the awesome feedback and questions for us. And with that, this was episode 235 of the StreamYard Live Town Hall. Again, thank you all so much for hanging out with us. It's always a pleasure to be able to talk with you and get your feedback on these new features. And if we missed your question tonight, we apologize. We'll do our best to get to it next week. And we'll see you next week at the same time, Sunday at 6 p.m. Pacific.
Cool. See you next week, everyone.